more of a promise.
Okay. Don't worry. Almost ready. Hi!
Hey, hey, Skywalkers!
Yay! Welcome, everyone.
Welcome to a full recording this time. Not just wraparounds, but a full recording of the full entire show.
Yay! Oh, we have people already joining us.
Well, Pierre Kelly is asking a question we're going to answer in just a little bit. Did you forget about this month's pop culture trivia? No, we did not forget about it.
Nice. Oh, that's the short answer.
Yes.
That's the short answer. Oh, I'm loud. What's
Yes,
your short
Kevin
answer?
is going to be the full Monty.
What?
The full show, the full Monty.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know what that means. I saw that movie. All right. Hello.
Corwin of Amber.
Excellent.
Now, have we ever asked what a Corwin of Amber is?
I don't know.
It seems like that's more of a title than a name.
Yeah, I like it.
So give us a little bit of background there.
Is it Amber Corwin and you just decided to flip it? That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Because then I could be Woloski of Sarah. That still doesn't make sense.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's why I want to know. Meredith says, hey, hey.
Like the Moana rooster.
Courtney says, hey, hey.
Yay. Welcome. Shamim says, hey, guys.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love
right.
it.
Gonna begin in just a little bit, and you know what we're gonna be talking about?
Oh.
We're gonna be talking about this. This right now is Star Wars history right there. Oh, feel you can smell the history.
Yeah.
Want to smell it? You can smell it. That's no touching. I didn't say touch, so you can smell the history.
I have to touch it
no,
to smell it.
You can't smell it. You can smell it. You just can't touch it. See, you know what? You blew it. You blew it.
Welcome. My mom is here too.
Hey.
Awesome.
Hey there.
Yay.
So yeah, this will be a fun discussion.
I agree.
Yeah.
Should we get started?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, just because we got some more recordings to do. We got a busy week. It's just last final busy week of the summer. It's kind of crazy.
Yes.
All right.
Next 6 days.
Yes. Then it'll be like, we're going to go to Disneyland. Woo!
We think.
We think.
We
on
hope.
my computer right now, I've got Space Mountain whirling around. And we're on the don't refresh the page button to buy our magic keys. And I've been there since about...
So yours is going and mine's going too.
Yeah, I put yours on just because your computer tends to do better. But I put mine on way earlier, so I don't know when I'll get it. You know what? I might end up just buying them at like midnight tonight, and maybe I won't have to wait so much. So, I don't know.
Okay.
What's up?
Corwin of Amber is giving us the answer.
Oh, okay.
Corwin of Amber is the main character from a series of 70s books called the Amber Chronicles, written by Roger Zelazny. Corwin is taken a lot of the time, so in the 90s I started using Corwin instead.
So YN instead of IN at the end.
The Corwin is taken a lot of the
Right.
time.
Right.
Okay. Ask and you
Alright.
shall receive.
Cool.
You got it.
Alrighty, so here we go.
That'll be something we want to share later on.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us, Corwin of Amber. I like it. Okay. This is what you can look forward to on episode 339 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers! Isn't it fun to look back at something you had written years or even decades ago about your plans for the future and your hopes and dreams? Well, in just a little bit, we will look back to see what a young George Lucas had to say in 1977. But until then, we want to welcome everyone to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Wolosky. Now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah.
Hey, Skywalkers! We are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. So it's time for a big Wookiee hug! And a weekly sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. And we want to welcome you. If you're listening for the first time, you are now a Skywalker. If you're watching us live right now on YouTube, well, you are a Skywalker too, and we'll be talking about your comments here on the show, and you are commenting here in the Sky Chat, so that's always fun. So if we bring up comments during the show, that means you guys watched us live. And usually we go live every week on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific. This week we got a little behind schedule, so we're on Wednesday today. But thank you for coming and joining us, Skywalkers.
All right, now we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations. They are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to Disney parks around the world. Best of all, this service is free! Free of charge! How many times can you say that in the same sentence as Disney?
Mm-hmm.
Those who are buying our magic keys today or passes, cannot put those two words together, free and Disney. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you, and hoping everyone is buying their magic keys right now.
Yes, and one good thing about using Small World Vacations is they're always on the lookout for the best vacation deals and things like that. So like, you know, we're planning a trip next year, but we don't know exactly when, and they're keeping tabs on all of that, the vacation prices and everything like that. So we don't have to do that. It's up to them.
They do it well.
Yes.
All right, now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on August the 25th, 2021.
All right, so, Richard, you're our expert. What happened this day in Star Wars history?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked, because on August 25th, 1977, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca made the cover of Rolling Stone magazine.
That's right.
Now, coming up on this Today in Star Wars History episode, we will go in-depth with that issue of Rolling Stone that features an in-depth interview with George Lucas. And this is one of the first in-depth discussions we've had with George Lucas right after Star Wars came out.
Mm-hmm.
And he speaks about the struggles of getting Star Wars off the ground, storylines he wants to visit in future films, and this is the first time he mentions that Vader gets burnt up in a volcanic pit.
Yeah.
So since 1977, all of us young fans with our Kenner action figures were replicating this scene.
Oh, the volcanic pit?
Yeah, having Darth Vader fight Obi-Wan Kenobi over a volcano.
Wow.
Because he mentions it right here.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. So just that one line in this interview just sparked a whole bunch of conversation, a bunch of creativity.
Right. Plus, it's just really interesting. I mean, this was published on August 25th, 1977, but that means that the interviewee talked with George Lucas probably right after the film came out.
Yeah, he says somewhere in the interview that he talked to him in July.
Wow. So George Lucas was fresh off of Star Wars and kind of blindsided by the success.
Right, and he's got a lot to say. He also talks about how happy he would be to go back and redo the special effects.
Yes.
Since he was so disappointed in them. He says that over and over again. I want to redo this. I want to redo that. I want to redo this.
Yeah, there's very much, not only do we kind of get hints of what's going to become the special editions, but we also get hints of kind of prequel stuff, and even the Star Wars Museum, or the Museum of Narrative Art, which is coming to LA.
So this man was like 50 years before his time.
Yeah, so we're going to go into it. We're going to in great detail.
Now, if you want to read the article yourself, then look for the actual pages in our show notes on the Skywalking Through Neverland website. Yes, we'll have all the pages from the article there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, on YouTube, in our raw recording, I'm going to show some of these pages as we go along.
Oh, great.
You just can't read them, you know, because I mean the script is like tiny, but you'll be able to see the pictures.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're showing the cover.
Great.
Which also has Dolly Parton.
Of course it does. Now we also have shout outs and things we want to share. Corwin of Amber is saying he obviously did it so that kids would melt their action figures and need to buy more.
Nice.
That'd be more of a Kenner thing.
Yeah. And Shamim, thank you very much. That's my outfit. Okay, do you want me to read? Okay, there we go. All right, so first
things
of all, though,
we want to share.
I wasn't ready.
Things we want to share.
All right, Skywalkers, guess what? Force Fest is coming up.
It's coming up last year, everybody. So if you're listening to this in 2021, then you've already missed it. So we're sorry. We're reporting on things from last year. Take two.
Yes, you blindsided me here. All right. All right, Skywalkers, we want to share and also remind everyone of the Force Fest reunion that will be held this Friday, August 27th at 6 p.m. Pacific on Zoom. And we're doing it on Zoom because Get Vocal is not ready yet. They've done a whole big awesome refresh, which is amazing. They're just not ready yet for a whole bunch of people to be on.
We can't wait to use it again because we've been beta testing it with them. And the Get Vocal we used for Force Fest that's obsolete.
Yes.
What they have now is going to blow doors, and it's just not ready yet.
Yeah,
so we thought, hey, you know what? Let's just do something quick and easy. We'll do it on Zoom. We'll have some fun discussions, invite everyone back.
Yes. So it's good. Yeah, we're going to have fun discussion. We're going to have a few games. It's going to be a fun night with friends, really. So this is not going to be streaming live anywhere. It'll just be on Zoom. So if you head to Facebook and search for Force Fest in events, you will see a public event come up that will have the links to that Zoom meeting.
All right, Shamim already says he's down for this anniversary.
Yes, and I think Courtney and Kelly have already signed up in the group.
Nice.
Or in that event.
Also,
they're excited.
I want to talk about the Disney Gallery Mandalorian Season 2 finale. In that Zoom discussion, yeah. We just watched it today. Blew our minds.
So cool.
Yeah, and everyone else will be joining us from the other podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, we look forward to it. All right. Are we ready?
We're always ready.
We're ready for our main discussion because it's time to travel back to 1977 with Rolling Stone magazine.
Now, this magazine is one of the most iconic pieces of Star Wars memorabilia from 1977. This wasn't a kids magazine either. It wasn't like Starlog or Fantastic Films or Famous Monsters. And I didn't even get this until about a year or two later at a convention.
Oh my, really?
Because it said Rolling Stones, so I'm thinking,
right.
is it about the Rolling Stones, which I wasn't into? So. And this magazine wasn't with the other magazines, so I just missed it altogether because it wasn't with the kids magazines.
The kids or like the film magazines, right? Isn't Rolling Stone usually cover music bands and
stuff?
Yeah,
exactly.
Like bands and music.
Pop culture, but mainly on music.
Right, and so I don't know how rare this is to branch out to movies, but I mean, Star Wars was a phenomenon.
Yeah, and everyone wanted a piece of that pie.
Right.
So Star Wars was making covers of every magazine, even if it had to do with pop culture or Star Wars or science fiction. They just wanted Star Wars on the cover, so people like me would buy it. Only you got to put it in the section where kids are going to see it.
Right.
I recall going to John's store and not seeing this anywhere because it was up against the newspaper racks, and as an 8-year-old, I don't want to go to newspapers.
Yeah, you
I
don't
want to
see
go to the
that.
Mad magazines, Cracked, and Starlog. So I just missed this. Now I remember because my mother had told me, "Hey, how come you didn't want that Rolling Stone magazine with Star Wars on it?" Like, what? Huh? What is this? She said, "Yeah, a few weeks ago it was over there." It's like, oh no.
Oh.
And she just thought I didn't want it.
Right. She thought you would have seen it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Then again, sometimes she would like put something over a magazine if it was too expensive. Like, oh no, you don't see that at all.
Oh.
There's Mad Magazine for 75 cents. Why don't you go for that one?
That's a smart mom.
All right, now let's talk about this cover.
Okay.
This is one of the most iconic publicity photos from that era, and this was a movie still I got at the Watertown Mall.
A movie still?
Yeah, remember we were in Hollywood the other night, and they had some of those Hollywood souvenir shops.
Mhm.
And some of those souvenir shops had rows and rows of movie stills in these folders, and you go back and forth. I pointed this out to you.
Okay. Yes.
You
Okay.
never
Now I
listened.
remember. No. I remember the movie stills in the okay.
Yes.
So I'm caught up.
So there was always a section. I think it was a Hallmark store that had a section of Star Wars, and this was just when I was starting to get into Star Wars around August of
Okay.
1977, and I saw this movie still. And it wasn't this exact pose that we're seeing on the Rolling Stone magazine, which all the heroes are looking off to the distance.
Mhm.
They're all looking at you,
Oh.
and I had to have that. That just said, Richard, this is going to be one of the pieces that brings you back to childhood every time you look at it, and it does, which is why I love this cover so much.
Well.
I love it except for those goofy lasers.
All right. Well, let's describe the cover for those people who are listening on their podcatchers. So we have Chewie, Han, Luke, and Leia, and they're in this action pose. They're facing off with some unnamed villain, like off the cover, off the page. And Han is in his classic firing mode. Like every shot, you see him in. Luke,
Arm bent backwards.
right, and his knees bowed. And Luke is also very intense, holding a blaster, looking off screen. Chewie is growling, but Leia is cowering near Chewie and behind Luke, and she's in her parade gown.
The ceremonial
Gown, minus the necklace. And it's just very un-Leia-like to me, but,
Right.
And there's a headline that says, "The Wizard of Star Wars, an interview with George Lucas" by Paul Scanlon. There's also a couple other headlines here. One of them says, "Ted Nugent's Bloodlust Rock" by Charles Young. And also, "Dolly Parton" by Chet Flippo, plus "Dolly Meets Mr. Universe" by Annie Leibovitz.
Oddly enough, Dolly Parton talks about Disney buying Star Wars in that interview.
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't.
But, okay, if Annie
But
Leibovitz...
Ted Nugent does talk about the Clone Wars.
All right, but if Annie Leibovitz did a photo shoot with Mr. Universe and Dolly Parton, I want to see this.
You want to see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't say the page, though.
No, but hold on. This is back when Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's Mr. Universe.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he wasn't a name back then. He wasn't really a name until 1984 with Terminator.
Oh my gosh. And then we're going to get to your comments, guys, on this cover, because you guys have some fun comments already.
All right. Are you ready for
Yes,
this? All right, we're showing everyone.
Oh, here, wait.
Okay.
Let me get to a bigger
Okay.
thing here.
Okay. I hope everyone's sitting down for this. Okay.
Okay,
Are you ready? Because I don't think you're really ready to see what I'm going to show you.
I want to see this.
Okay. Here we go.
What? Is he naked? It kind of looks like it. All right.
There you
so
go.
we have Dolly Parton in a black bodysuit who is looking at the camera, and right behind her, she's kind of blocking out a naked, muscled man. But you can't see his butt because she's kind of blocking him out, but you almost do.
And he's got his arms in the gun show.
Yes, the gun show pose. Yeah, you can see his muscles of his legs and his arms, but not his head. And he is kind of short because, yeah, Dolly Parton is, well, her hair's big.
Yeah. I stood beside him. He's not very tall.
No.
Okay, here we go. Here's another picture. Check this out.
Oh, my goodness. Look how young he looks. Oh, my goodness. he holding her up? Yeah. Okay, there's another pose where he's just lifting her up, and he's in like tidy reddies. Wow.
Back when he was only known as Mr. Universe, not the Terminator, not the Governor, not the Governator.
Right, not the Governator. I had a recording for a while on my phone of the Governator, of him as the governor.
Oh, boy.
Like,
Oh, yeah, he called me too.
yeah. I was like, oh.
So if ever we meet Annie Leibovitz, we're going to say, okay, so in that pose, that cover pose, was Arnold naked?
If not, he was wearing like a G-string or something. Matthew Clifton thinks he was naked.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me.
No. Richard is carefully putting this back. Be careful. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up.
There we go.
Okay, so...
Give it
What?
back, give it back. You're not to touch my collectibles.
Oh, when I visited Austria, we stayed at this hotel that was very proud of the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger was Austrian. And they had like his name, he like had, I don't know. They were using him to market the hotel for some reason.
Any claim to fame.
Yeah.
All right, so like with the classic Marvel Star Wars comics, we put this cover out on our Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what the Skywalkers had to say, and then we'll read a few from the Sky Chat over here.
Yes.
Anthony Fox says, interesting that Carrie is wearing the metal ceremony dress minus the necklace instead of the standard outfit. So they must have shot this at Shepperton Studios when they were shooting that scene.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Meredith Duckworth, oh, she's here somewhere.
Yes.
She says, I know that Rolling Stone is supposed to be a purview of pop culture, but it's amazing how much of this cover is still relevant. Very much so.
Nice. Yeah. All right, Lori Lazat says, I always loved this picture of them. It is strange seeing Leia acting so afraid. Yes. I figure she was like directed to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's no way her character would do that.
Yeah, I would figure Carrie would say, this is not the Princess Leia that's in the movie.
Right.
Come on, we're going to represent here.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Pittman says, great cover, Star Wars, Dolly Parton, and Ted Nugent. What else do you need?
Mark Badawi says, can't wait to hear your input on Ted Nugent interview.
That's going to be a whole Patreon Skywalking Force episode. Our take on the Dolly Parton and Ted Nugent interview.
That's kind of interesting.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Rex Gordon says, Leia is looking good. She's always looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Love this cover. Back in '77, we didn't know all the backstories like we do now. The mystery and fun were so new and so mysterious, we wanted all the info we could get. Great classic pick.
Nice.
Oh, there's so much info to come.
All right, Glenn Stein writes, I'm wondering why neither George Lucas nor Dolly Parton is pictured on the cover. I realize it's to capitalize on the popularity of Star Wars, but I wonder how often Rolling Stone pictures neither of the named subjects on the cover.
Well, it's all about Star Wars.
And
this sells papers.
Yes. So I think you answered your own question, Glenn. It is to capitalize on the popularity of Star Wars, nothing else. It's one of those things, like, sometimes we have podcasts that have multiple different things going on, but we have to generally pick one thing to highlight in the picture, because otherwise it's just too busy.
Yeah, if you're going to have an interview with George Lucas about Star Wars in the summer of 1977, you're not going to put Ted Nugent or Dolly Parton on the cover.
Or even a picture of George Lucas.
Right.
It's the characters that sell.
No, big time. Courtney Turkel says,
my eye is immediately drawn to the fact that the lasers coming from those blasters do not look real. And Leia's dress looks too big for her. So, yes, we've got several comments here in the Sky Chat also saying, what is up with the lasers? Kevin Toft, the lasers look like the way they trace bullet paths on CS.
There's one straight red line.
Yeah, it's really silly. You can barely see it even on this cover here, but yeah, it looks really silly. Yeah, because lasers are like, they shoot out.
Like blasts.
Right.
There's no blast coming from the muzzle of the blasters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure George Lucas did not approve this.
Yes.
All right, and let's wrap it up here with Martin Keeler, who says, pride of place on my office wall. And he shows a picture of this magazine autographed by all four.
Wow.
That's on his office wall.
Wow, that's amazing. All right. Well, cool. Thank you, Skywalkers. That was fun going through the cover. Now we are going to go open up this magazine to the first page of this interview.
The Force Behind George Lucas, a conversation with the creator of Star Wars, who reveals the voice behind Darth Vader, why robots need love too, and where Wookiees come from. Do you see the typo there?
Yes, I do. Wookiees.
It only has one E here.
Mhm.
But then again, in a novelization, it only had one E.
Right, right. Also, calling the droids robots as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So that, I don't know when that became a thing, but that's interesting. So, yeah, this is a fun splash page here with George Lucas in an uncharacteristically blue plaid shirt, not a red one.
Mm-hmm. And he's not wearing blue jeans, he's wearing white jeans.
That is, and he's got his sleeves rolled up, and he's standing in front of a big star field with a red planet behind him. So there you go.
That's Tatooine.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh.
That's the map painting.
Okay, that makes sense. This is the other side of the page, for those of you watching online.
There's the escape pod.
Oh.
All right, now,
I get it.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, writer Paul Scanlon, who wrote the article, he mentions that he visited the ILM studio in Van Nuys when they were making Star Wars.
Yes.
And writes, even back then, it was pretty easy to see that this young and gifted crew was fired up by George Lucas's peculiar vision and exceptional imagination. And he says that all of the films are characterized by a sort of effervescent giddiness, all of George Lucas's films. Not sure you could really say that with THX 1138, though.
Well, and then Paul goes on to say, whatever you want to call it, it's a quality that seems to affect the people who work for him and audiences alike.
All right, then Paul Scanlon, he believes that Star Wars may crack the top 10 films at the box office. It may just crack it, or even make the #1 position.
Of that year. Is that what he's talking about? Yeah. Yeah.
And then he writes later on that within 8 weeks, Star Wars has grossed a staggering $54 million.
Nice. Back in '77, that was some big numbers there.